Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome to my channel. You are currently watching part 10 I think of my series, and today I'm going to be cooking iftar and showing you how I make iftar. My in-laws have kindly allowed me to use the kitchen for today to do my filming. I'm going to be making a traditional Bengali iftar today because my husband is Bangladeshi and so are my in-laws. So I'm going to show you how to do that and what I do. But basically it's gonna be zao and sanabuna, and I'm also gonna make like a side of chicken curry, like chicken breast curry. So yeah. So I'm starting with my prep. The first thing I'm going to do is peel some onions. Got about 5 onions in here and I'm gonna start chopping them. Before I chop my onions, I like to wash them just so that they're nice and clean. I've also washed and soaked 1 cup of rice. Now here I'm just chopping my onions finely. You can chop them however you like, but this is how I like to chop them. Onions are ready. Now we're going to prep our vegetables. So here I'm going to chop these peppers, and I'm also going to mince this thumb of ginger. Here's a tip for making zao. After I soak the rice, I like to break it up with my hands. This makes the zao much more finer and gives it a better texture. So I'm just doing my prep. Here you can see I'm mincing the ginger. So taking about 1 onion's worth of chopped onions and went over them again with my knife to make them finer. I then took 2 chicken breasts that I defrosted earlier and cut them into strips. So this eggplant is for making fried eggplant pakore, and I'm just chopping this up as well for later. For my chane buna, I'm gonna use 2 cans of chickpeas and drain them. I also like to wash them to get rid of the salt. So I've decided to cook everything at once. I've got all 4 pans on the stove. I only had an hour to cook this, so I did it all at once. Here I'm just adding oil to my chane buna pan. I also added some to my chicken pan, but I added too much, and because me and my husband are trying to eat less oil, I had to take couple of tablespoons out. I added 1 onion's worth of onions to my chane. Added about a teaspoon of salt, not too much because the chickpeas are salty. Gave it a mix. I'm gonna cook this until the onions are softened. The chicken, I added a tablespoon of garlic and ginger paste. Gave it a mix, let it cook for about 3-4 minutes. I added my washed rice to my pot for the zao, making sure to get every grain of rice in. I then added some water and put this to boil. In goes my finely chopped onion and minced ginger, and I'm giving it a stir. Also added a tablespoon and a half of salt. I'm gonna let it simmer for about 15 minutes. To the garnish for the zao, I'm taking about 2.5 tablespoons of ghee and putting it in a pot. Let it melt whilst we go to the chicken. Here I'm just adding my onions. I used about 2 onions for the chicken. I also added about a tablespoon of salt. The salt is going to draw water out of the onions and soften them. And then with the remaining onions left, I had 1 more onion. I'm going to put that into my ghee mixture. But this time I'm not going to add any salt. So my husband's currently measuring out all the ghee that I just put in there. Like I said, he's really health focused. Yep, I put twice as much of that into, maybe twice and a half. I added a bay leaf to my zao and my chicken for aroma. To my chicken, I also added some green cardamom and cinnamon. The onions from my chana have softened. Now I'm gonna add my spices. I've used 5 spices. I used turmeric, chili, coriander, cumin, and curry powder. I added them all 1 by 1 in the quantities that I like. You can add as much as you like or as little as you like. It's entirely up to you. Mix and let the spices cook for a minute. I also added some tomato paste, 2 large green chilies, and all the drained chickpeas. Our onions are getting nice and brown in our ghee. I also added some water to my chicken curry so that the onions soften even more. The zao is halfway done. Rice needs to become mushier. At this point, I switched the chane off because they looked done. I'm gonna sit down and have a little chat with you guys whilst my food is cooking. It's a really nice day today. The weather is amazing. It's kind of sad because I wish I could go outside and like do something, like I don't know, go to a festival or go shopping or just do something, but I can't. I actually really I miss those times when my husband used to take me to Bristol. Those were the best times. Like, I would stay in the hotel all day and like then go out and do a bit of shopping, and it was so chill. I actually really miss those times, but what can we do? This is our situation. I took the onions off the heat. They look done, nice and brown, and I let them sit on the countertop to make my zao finer. I like to take a potato masher and just mash it for a good few minutes. So the onions for my chicken needed to be softer, so I added more water and let them boil until they got softer. I added some chopped coriander to my chane just to finish them off. The onions look nice and mushy. Now I'm gonna add my spices one by one. I like to add a teaspoon of every spice in equal quantities. Mix them up and let them cook. You want the spices to release their oils and become one with the onion and the oil. This is an art, so take your time when you mix your spices. Adding my chicken, giving it all a mix, covering it and letting it cook. Once the chicken is cooked, I threw in 2 green chilies and all of my chopped peppers and mixed it further. Cover it and let it cook. So my zao is nice and ready. Just gonna show you guys how it is. This is nice. It's kind of like jarish, which is like a Saudi dish. It's this nice kind of a porridgey consistency. Take my onions with the ghee. I'm going to just kind of pour it on top. I'm gonna leave that there, and just before I serve it, I'm gonna mix everything together, and it's going to be delicious. So yeah. When my chicken was cooked, I sprinkled some coriander on top and switched off the heat. So alhamdulillah, all of our cooking is finished. I want to show you everything without the lid. So it's all really hot still. So we have our chana buna. We have our chicken and pepper curry. We have our zao. And that is what we're gonna have for iftar. So all of my curries are nice and ready. As you guys can see, they look and smell amazing. So I was done for my major cooking. Now all that is left is fried stuff. So my uncle made some dali bora, which is a Bengali dal pakora. And I also did some fried eggplant, which is a bangon pakora. Basically just dipped the eggplant into chickpea flour paste and fried it until crispy. Whilst we all go pray Maghrib, I kept it in the oven at 120 degrees so it stays crispy. Our table is set, the food is ready, we broke our fast. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for more videos on my channel. So yeah guys, I'm gonna end this video and call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you very soon in my next video.